Angry passenger screams at woman at check-in. What she said to shut him up is priceless. The mantra in business is the customer is always right. Unfortunately, this mantra can make the life of a customer service agent quite difficult. There are many people who know that the customer service agents are told to keep the customers happy. Therefore, they'll often treat these employees like dirt. People who work at airline counters, they understand what it's like to work with these kinds of people. They're already stressed and in a hurry to get to their destination. When certain situations arise, they can get rude to the agent at the counter and often will even blame them for any issues that arise with the flight. Here's a story of when an angry passenger screamed at a woman at the check-in line, but what she said with these 6 words shut him up instantly. A woman was working at the check-in desk at LaGuardia Airport in New York. The weather was bad, so a crowded Southwest Airlines flight needed to be canceled. There was just one agent on duty to rebook the flights for a long line of travelers who had been inconvenienced. Most of the people in line were kind of understanding. They knew that it wasn't the agent's fault that the flight was canceled. After all, she has no control over the weather itself. Well, since the flight was canceled, most of the people in line were understanding that the agent was working as quickly as possible to get everyone in line. Well, suddenly, a man in the back of the line pushed his way to the front. The people in the line looked angry at the man and that he had the nerve to cut in front of them as if their time wasn't as precious as his. When he got to the counter, he slapped his ticket on the counter and told the agent that he absolutely had to get on the flight and he had to get a first-class seat. He didn't tell her this in a nice way either. He didn't try to explain his situation. He just yelled at the ticket agent without any thought about anyone else. The ticket agent was angry, but she put a smile on her face, which is part of her job. She looked at the man and told him in the happiest tone that she could muster that she would be more than happy to help him, but he needed to get back into line. She tried to explain to him that the other people in the line were there first and that their time was just as valuable as his. The people in line were thrilled by that answer, but the man wasn't. In a way, he had hoped that the ticket agent would be rude to him, which would have given him a real excuse to yell at her. Unfortunately, she was as pleasant as can be when she asked him to return to the back of the line. Well, that angered the man even more. He asked the agent in a very loud voice, "Do you have any idea who I am?" Everybody in line, and everyone in general, heard the man yelling in the area. The ticket agent did her best to keep her cool and not lose it on the man. Instead, she picked up her public address microphone. She spoke into the microphone as calmly and as eloquently as possible. The public address system allowed her voice to be heard by everyone who was in the terminal. She said, "May I have your attention, please? We have a passenger here at Gate 14 who does not know who he is. Is there anyone who can identify him? Please come to Gate 14. He asked us if we knew who he was, but we don't. Maybe one of you do. Thank you for your time." After the ticket agent made her announcement, the man's face became red with anger. He looked at the ticket agent with a very angry look on his face. He glared at the ticket agent and said, "Screw you!" She had kind of expected a response like that, so she decided to smile back at him without flinching at all. She said to the man, "I'm sorry, sir. You'll have to get in line for that, too." This made the man even more angry, and he remained at the counter. She realized that she wasn't going to win with him and asked him one more time to please get to the back of the line. When he refused, she got on her public address microphone again. This time she called for security. The man heard her call for help and quickly went to the back end of the line. Everybody in line had heard everything that went on, and because of this, the next hour of the tickets agent's day was perfect. Some of the customers in line felt pity for her. If they couldn't get a flight at the time that they wanted, well, they didn't get angry. They had just seen this poor woman go through enough with the rude man. She'd already gone through enough. Some of the people in line were so amused by what she had done that they couldn't get mad at her, even if they couldn't get a flight at all. The way she got back at that guy was enough to make their entire day, even if they did have to wait for a flight. Now, the moral of this story is to be nice to the ticket agent at the airport. In fact, while we're at it, just be nice to every customer service rep you meet. If things don't go your way, they didn't cause the problem. It's their job to help you, and the more difficult you are, the more difficult it's going to be for them to help you. Next time you feel your temperature getting the best of you, try to remember that. Being kind to these people is the best way to get the help that you need.